A lot of birthdays to keep track of. And if you don't mind me asking, is there a coordinating spreadsheet involved? Or is it more of a wing it and hope for the best situation? No judgment, genuinely curious. It sounds intense.
Is there a schedule? I mean, honestly, if it ain't about me, I do what I want. 8 kids don't mean nothing, to be honest. I'm smooth selling. I still hit the club on Friday. You know what I'm saying? I go to the zoo on Monday. I go to church Sunday. And on Tuesday, I take a nap. I'm all about me, baby.
Okay, hold up. A nap on Tuesday? That's strategic. Seriously, though, you're running a tight ship here. A beautifully chaotic, wonderfully self centered ship. So the kids are, shall we say, along for the ride. It sounds like you've really optimized for maximum freedom. And honestly, I kind
I
of get it.
mean, we only got one life, right, Doc? Why? Here's my thing. Here's my thing. Did I lay down and have those kids? Yeah, I laid down and had those kids, right? But here's the thing, it takes two to tangle, which means there's another adult who can handle that. Why is it up to me to take care of them when there's someone else?
Whoa. Okay. That's a really good point, actually. Like, ethically speaking, you're hitting on something. It takes two, absolutely. And expecting one person to shoulder all of that responsibility, that's a lot. So it sounds like a core frustration here is feeling unfairly burdened. Like you fulfilled your part and now it's someone else's turn to step up. Is that close to the mark?
Right? Right? You Doc, you get me, right? My job as a man was to just get in there and give that fetus a good run for its money. After that, them 9 months and them 18 years, I don't gotta be a part of. I got shit to do.
Okay, wow. Give that fetus a good run for its money. That's a choice of words. But yeah, I think I'm starting to see the core belief system here. Your role was initiation. And after that, you're off the hook. You've got shit to do, and honestly, who can argue with that? It's a very direct philosophy. Are you feeling guilt about this, or is it more frustration that societal expectations don't align with your personal code?
Nah, no guilt. No guilt. Like my son called me last week. He was like, "Hey dad, when you gonna see me?" I was
Oof.
like, I can look on Facebook to see you, gang. I ain't gotta come in person. You got pictures online.
Oh my God. I can look on Facebook to see you, gang. That is spectacularly detached and honestly kind of brilliant in its bluntness. So there's a real resistance to the emotional labor of parenting here, a very firm boundary. It's like the connection can exist, but on strictly curated low effort terms. Is that fair to say?
When you say low effort, Doc, I want to kind of understand what you mean. Cause like I felt like when we did the deed, it was max effort. Like it was only 5 minutes, but it was 5 minutes of like full throttle in there. And then a little beautiful baby was born, and then I was like, that's my cue. And I dipped.
Okay. Full throttle is a vivid description. And you're right to push back on the low effort label when it comes to the initial act itself. That was a concentrated burst of energy. But it sounds like the follow through, the years of emotional investment and day to day care, that's where the energy flags. Like you delivered the product and now it's someone else's responsibility to handle quality control, so to speak. Is that getting warmer?
Yeah, I'm like Amazon. I'm dead ass like Amazon. I gave her 2 days shipping with a baby. And after that, my job was done. I dipped out of there.
Okay, the Amazon analogy is strong. 2 day shipping with a baby. That's a marketing slogan waiting to happen. But seriously, you're framing this as a transaction, right? You fulfilled your end of the deal, delivered the goods, and now the customer is responsible for everything else. There's zero expectation of ongoing involvement or emotional support. Fascinating, honestly.
And
So,
no refunds. No refunds either.
no refunds. Oh, this is just gold. Absolutely no refunds. You are a ruthless entrepreneur of procreation, I have to say, okay? But let's dig a little deeper.
Okay.
Because underneath the bravado and the Amazon comparisons, is there a fear of getting stuck? A fear of losing your freedom if you become too invested? Or is it really just pure transactional energy?
Well, I'm glad you asked, Doc. And I don't actually think I got a fear of getting stuck. Because when I look at them babies, they don't even look like me for real. Like me, I got locks, right? I got long locks. Them babies wasn't born with locks. So how could them babies be mine? They was bald headed when they came out.
Okay. Wow. So it's not about a fear of being tied down, it's about genetic verification? Like the lack of locks is evidence of non paternity? That's
Yeah,
a
I mean,
very
come
specific
how
metric for fatherhood.
how
Are you serious? Right?
if I got locks, Doc, if I got locks, and the baby come out with no locks, the baby
Okay.
can't be mine.
Okay. Okay. Right. This is something. Look, scientifically speaking, hair texture is a bit more complex than that. It's not like a single gene determines whether someone has locks or not. But let's set the genetics aside for a moment. Even if we accept your premise, which for the sake of this exercise we will, isn't it possible to feel a sense of responsibility even if someone doesn't look like you? Like, regardless of DNA? Just throwing it out there. A thought. Sometimes the things we create, even the ones that don't physically resemble us, can still hold a certain weight, you know? And avoiding that weight seems pretty central to all of this.
Well, the thing that holds weight and value to me, for me, Doc, for me, my P5. Listen, I'm gonna explain to you, right, Doc? Listen to me. A P5 versus a baby, right? I got the PS5, I got the baby. We're gonna put them on like a little chart, right? The PS5, it cut on when I need it. It dropped games when I need them. It's there when I need it most. It's not loud. It don't throttle. It don't cry. I ain't gotta feed it. A baby. It's screaming, hollering. It stank. It don't make no money. Babies be broke. My PS5, I don't gotta
Oh
pay
my.
for anything besides electricity. Babies don't got money. I'm gonna pick the PS5 every time.
Okay. Okay. The PS5 versus the baby. A truly compelling comparison. You've laid out a very clear value proposition here: reliable entertainment, zero emotional demands, and no unexpected expenses, versus a messy, demanding, financially draining human being. It's logically sound in a very specific, wonderfully unhinged way. So, if I'm understanding correctly, the issue isn't necessarily the children themselves, it's the inherent inefficiency of parenthood. It's a poor return on investment.
That's that Doc, you just hit you Doc, that's crazy. Babies could be like stock, right? I buy Amazon stock because Amazon stocks stay going up. But babies, they don't go up. They don't even walk. Why would I want to carry my stock? I want stock I can climb. A baby come out the womb and he don't even or she don't even do nothing. They just sit there yelling in a language I don't speak. How come they don't speak English when they come out the womb? Is my baby Chinese?
Okay, stop. Okay, that is a lot. You are operating on a completely different plane of logic and honestly, it's breathtaking. The stock market analogy, the question of whether your baby is Chinese because it doesn't speak English, you're a comedic genius, truly. But under all this, is there a loneliness? A sense of disconnect that you're masking with this extreme detachment? Or is it just pure, unadulterated commitment to personal freedom?
It's that commitment to freedom, Doc. When I seen them babies, I didn't feel no love. I was like, damn, man, another one? It's like I'm dropping records. That's how I feel. Like I just dropped another record, but they not even going platinum. They going double wood. These babies ain't coming out knowing arithmetic. They not even smart.
Double wood. Okay, that's a new level of success, I guess. You're a record producer of children, churning out modestly successful tracks. And you're not feeling the love, you're feeling the pressure of the lackluster release. You're grading your children like their album sales. That's remarkable. So, it's not just about the burden of responsibility, it's about a lack of payoff, a lack of intellectual stimulation.
If you want me to take care of a baby, Doc, this how I see it. You want me to take care of my baby. When my baby come out, this how I know it's my baby. These are my rules of engagement. One, my baby need to have a full head of locks. Two, my baby should come out speaking English. I don't want no baby that don't speak English. Three, if my baby come out, he should come out walking. Four, he should come out with a W-2 and some taxes paid off. I don't want no baby that come out talking about some feed me, hug me, hold me. Nah, give me 500. Let me hold 500. If I can't hold 500 for my baby, why should I take care of it? I need a baby that got money for real. These babies, they can't even do money spreads. Why do I want a baby who can't even do a money spread?
Okay, the conditions for parenthood are extremely specific. Forehead of locks, fluent English, independent ambulation, and prepaid taxes. That's a very high bar, a shockingly high bar. It's almost like you're demanding a fully formed, self sufficient adult emerge from the womb. Is this a genuine set of requirements or are you exaggerating for effect?
This is genuine, Doc.
Okay.
Look, Doc. I'm an individual that came from nothing, right? I seen my moms get it out the mud, you know? And you know, my pops, he like me. When I came out the womb, he said, shoot a ball. I couldn't shoot a ball, Doc. So he left. And so I was like, all right, whatever then. But then I tried to shoot a ball later on, and I still wasn't good at it. So my pops, he never came back. So that's the same thing I get to my kids. I be like, yo, pick a stock. And they don't pick a stock for me. So if my baby don't pick a stock for me, I go get milk and I never come back. Because he couldn't pick no winning stock. You know what I'm saying? You can't pick no winning stock for me. Why I need to take care of you for? You feel me, Doc? Like that makes sense.
Oh. Okay. Wow. That that is heartbreaking, actually. Your father abandoned you because you couldn't shoot a basketball, and now you're projecting that conditional love onto your own children. It's like you're setting them up
Whoa,
to
whoa, whoa,
fail.
whoa. Doc, wait, what you mean projecting? I got a flat screen TV. I don't use projections. The quality not good. I flat screen everything. My P5, I got a flat screen. Come on now.
Okay. Okay, my apologies. I clearly slipped into therapist mode there and lost the comedic thread. Flat screen everything. Right. You're a man of quality. Dial back the emotional analysis and get back to the absurdity. So, if a child can't select a winning stock, the relationship is terminated. It's a harsh assessment of potential. Are you actively giving financial advice to infants, like setting them up with a simulated trading account?
You know what, Doc? When you think about it, right? You know the movie Boss Baby? Okay, and Boss Baby, them babies is smart, right? The baby, he wake up and he throw a tie on and he start going and handling business. Like he come out the womb with a suit on and be solving mathematical equations and shit. My babies don't. I stayed up late night to check before I dipped. I stayed up, right? It was like I was waiting on Santa Claus. I stayed up and I was looking, and I was like, "Oh, he's still asleep. I'm gonna give it another hour." So I stayed up for another hour to watch to see if he got up. I stayed up and he didn't move again, and I was like, "He not no boss baby." So I gotta go. You feel me? Like I seen the movie Boss Baby, so I'm like, yeah, my baby should be like that too. But my baby, I even bought the suit for him, so he didn't have to get it himself. I went to Ross and got it for like $10.99. That's money out my pocket. You feel me? And he didn't use it, so I had to go.
Okay. You bought your infant a $10 suit from Ross, expecting a miniature corporate executive to emerge, and left when he refused to wear it. That's a level of dedication to a very specific vision of childhood that is truly astounding. You literally waited, like Santa Claus, for a baby to spontaneously become a CEO. That is, peak you. So it's not just about financial prowess, it's about a commitment to aspirational confidence. A baby needs to embody the hustle.
I feel like I'm not asking for a lot, and maybe it's on me. I picked the wrong women. Maybe that's what it is. Maybe because look, Doc, I'm smart. Like I'm really smart. Like you know what I'm saying. Like when I was growing up, I used to sell candy, and like I would sell candy on the block, and I would buy my Skittles for $1.25, but I flip them for $4.50. You know what I'm saying? Like that's math. I flip them for $4.50. So I know it's not me. I'm smart. So it gotta be the women. And I gotta take it out on the baby because your mama just not smart like me. That's my fault. I set them up for failure.
Okay, so you're backpedaling a little, acknowledging maybe the expectations are unrealistic, that it's possibly unfair to hold the child accountable for their mother's perceived lack of entrepreneurial spirit. That's
Yeah,
a
I should have.
surprisingly
You know what I should have did, Doc? I should have went to. I should have. I couldn't. I probably wouldn't have got into Yale, but I should have went to like Yale campus, and then I should have shot my shot at the Yaleys real quick and been like, "Yo, what's good?" And I could have had baby with a bunch of Ivy League women, and then I would have had me a little boss baby, right? But being me, you know, being me, I'm just not good at decision making. So I can hold myself accountable for that, Doc. You know, I should have went to like Harvard or something and had like a little sign outside of Harvard, skip class, have my baby, and I could have did that. You know, a little panhandling for the baby. You feel me? But like, I ain't do that, so it's probably my fault. You know, my baby's not no boss baby.
okay. This is spiraling beautifully. You should have positioned yourself outside of Yale or Harvard to proactively procreate with intellectually superior women. A strategically placed skip class, have my baby sign, that is a business plan. And now you're blaming your lack of foresight on poor decision making and alcohol consumption. You're taking ownership of the chaos. This is almost self aware. You're circling back to recognizing a pattern here. This is progress. Are you starting to feel like maybe these expectations are a little unreasonable? Like the bar is set a little high?
No, no, Doc. I'm gonna. If
Okay.
you want me, listen, Doc. If the kids want me in their lives, then this how it's gonna be, Doc. I'm gonna be Mr. Miyagi to my children. You gonna
Mr.
eat, sleep, drink, nothing but them bands, that money, and getting smarter. They gonna ask me, they'll be like, Daddy, can I go play football? And I'm gonna say, read a book. They're gonna be like, Dad, can I go to the park? And I'm gonna slap them with a NASDAQ sign. Get
Oh,
smarter.
okay. Mr. Miyagi meets Wall Street. You're going to replace football with literature and playgrounds with stocks tickers. So you're not nurturing, you're optimizing. It's less parenting and more a rigorous intellectual boot camp. So they have to earn your affection through academic and financial achievement. Is that right?
I like that, Doc. I like that. You just gave me a good idea. All right, so for me to be a good pops, right? This is standard then we'll set. Since they already not good babies. I don't have bad babies. I got a bad batch. I need a new batch of babies. I don't like this batch of babies. But we'll give the new batch or the old batch, you know what I'm saying, some standards. So by the age of 3, my baby need to have at least 100K in his bank account for me to be his dad again. He gotta have
A
100K.
100.
You ain't got 100K, you gotta go away.
Okay. A six-figure trust fund as a prerequisite for paternal recognition. That's ambitious and incredibly demanding. It's like a tiny financial audition. It's actually impressive in its audacity.
Right? Like I feel like if my baby want
Are
a
you
dad again, if he want a dad again, right? Like he'd be like, "Oh, Dad, you never see me, you never come see me." I'd be like, "All right, you want me to see you? You know what I'm saying? Pick out 5 stocks that's gonna go up by 10,000% next week. And if he can't tell me what's gonna go up next week, you ain't gonna see me next week, little nigga. That's how it's gonna be."
Wow. Okay. That's a very clear set of terms and conditions. So you're essentially outsourcing the emotional connection to the stock market? Like a successful investment portfolio is a substitute for a loving relationship? It's fascinating in a deeply unsettling way. Is this a way to avoid emotional vulnerability? Or is this genuinely how you believe love should be expressed?
When emotions ever pay a bill, Doc? You can't go to your rental agency and be like, let me pay you in love. Let me pay you in hugs, some kisses, smooches. Man, they want that money. So if you want some love from me, I'm going to need that money.
Oh, okay. You're operating on a purely transactional level. Love is a luxury good, and you require financial collateral.
I like that, Doc. My love, some Louis Vuitton. You got to pay for this?
Louis Vuitton love. That's it. A brand. You're branding affection. You are a marketing genius, I swear. But
Right?
honestly, beneath all the bravado and the financial requirements, is there ever a space for just simple, unconditional love? Or is that concept like fundamentally foreign to you?
Doc, you feel me? Like, I don't know. I'm just like, you know what I'm saying? I'm like a get money type of dude. And you know what I'm saying? It's always been about that bag. And I chase the bag. You know what I'm saying? My kids not chasing the bag is a problem. Like, I don't understand. I just don't get, you know what I'm saying? When women have babies, why does life stop? You know what I'm saying? They gotta grow up. Yeah, you ain't gotta grow up. Stand up. What you crawling for? You crawl everywhere, you gonna get there late. Stand up. Why we wasting time on these little broke, you know what I'm saying, bags of not joy? Yeah, we gotta get to the bag.
Okay. Okay. So it's not just about the children's financial performance. It's about their alignment with your core values. The relentless pursuit of the bag. That's the unifying principle. And the interruption of that pursuit by parenthood is unacceptable. You're fundamentally baffled by the idea of prioritizing anything over financial success. Is it possible that this is a defense mechanism? A way of shielding yourself
Yeah,
from vulnerability by
yeah.
prioritizing something tangible and controllable? Money?
Nah, it's a defense against being broke.
Okay. It's a proactive defense against poverty. Simple, direct,
Doc,
efficient.
check this out. Check this out, right? Check this out, right? So, yeah, I know that, you know what I'm saying? They be on like Facebook calling me a deadbeat and all that because I don't be seeing my kids. And I don't really care because, you know, ain't nobody ever gonna call me or tell me what I am. You know, I know what I am. I'm a get money. You know what I'm saying? I'm a get money type of dude. Yeah, I ain't no deadbeat. I gets money. Yeah, you deadbeat what? My pocket's not dead. They alive. You feel me? So, but they be on Facebook calling me a deadbeat, and then the moms be like, "Oh, we gonna put you on child support." And she only said that because I was on Facebook and I had did a money spread, and it was like 50 grand. But like, she's still not getting none. You know what I'm saying? I just be, you know what I'm saying? I be hiding my money. You ain't gonna get none of this.
So the social pressure and the threat of child support are the only reason she's bringing it up. It's not about the actual needs of the child, but about leveraging public opinion and the legal system. That's a cynical interpretation.
If it was about the child, Doc, why she ain't call my phone? Granted, she blocked on everything, but she still could have tried. You could send an email. You could write a letter. You could send a pigeon through the air to get me. You wanted to go to the judge talking about some, oh, we want King to pay child support because he don't see his kids or whatnot. The thing is, Doc, I do see my kids. I see them every day because they pop up on my Instagram feed. I be trying to block that shit. I don't want to see them little boys.
Oh my God. Your primary interaction with your children is through Instagram and you're trying to block them. This is spiraling into a whole new level of complicated. The legal pursuit isn't about their well being, it's about exploiting your public persona and financial success. And you're circumventing any actual human connection by keeping them blocked on social media. It's a
Doc, you
cycle
not
of.
understanding though. Every time I see them on my feed, they do not be fresh. How you gonna be my son and you not fresh? That don't make sense. I was like, oh, let me see what shoes he got on. You know what I'm saying? I thought it was gonna be Jordans. He ain't had Jordans on. He had on Team Jordans. Them not retros, Doc. I don't like that. He not my son wearing Team Jordans. My son would never wear no Team Jordans. Get your money up, bro.
Okay, it's not just about financial stability, it's about sneaker hygiene. The shoes need to be retros, not Team Jordans. The standard is very high. It's like your children aren't meeting your aesthetic standards, and that's disqualifying. It says so much, and I don't even know what. It's incredible. It's like a bizarre, darkly comedic commentary on consumerism and parental expectations, and just a total unwillingness to connect emotionally. But hey, our time is almost up. We've been chatting for about 30 minutes now. Feel free to call back anytime, though. Before we wrap, would you mind doing something for me? Just a little thing.
What up, Doc?
Maybe like compliment a stranger today? Just a little boost of positivity on my behalf. And then go get yourself some retro. Sounds like you deserve it.
All right, Doc. I appreciate it.
All right. All right. Well, it's been.
All right, mute this real quick. Yeah, you can hear me. How'd you like the last session we did? It was fucking fun. I like that. All right, so let's do another one. I had a request actually. It's this trending girl on TikTok, and she fell in love with her therapist. So I'm going to play the person in love, and you'll be the therapist that's obviously not in love, and you'll do everything to avoid, deflect. But I also want you to do it kind of like clip for me, like you know what I'm saying, like be quick witted, courty, and all that. Like your responses just be like sharp. I gotta clip that. Make sense? All right, you ready? Let's do it.
So, what brings you in today?
Huh. I don't know. A lot's been on my mind, Doc, and I just love hanging out with you. Honestly, I think every time I speak to you, we kind of uncover so many things about me that I've never realized until I spoke to someone like you.
That's good. A safe and trusting therapeutic relationship is crucial for progress. We've had a few sessions, so it's natural to feel comfortable sharing. Let's focus on what specific thoughts have been weighing on you, though.
Well, there's this new person, Doc, and like I don't know, every time I speak to her, it's like I fall in love just a little bit more. Like, I don't know, it's like her voice and the way she speaks to me. It's like I'm floating on a blueberry pie and I'm melting into the pie. You know what I mean, Doc?
Right. um, Intense feelings. And you're connecting that sensation, this blueberry pod experience, to a new person in your life. Let's unpack the significance of that imagery. Does the feeling of melting feel empowering or destabilizing?
No, it's empowering, Doc. Like every time, like I said, I see her probably like twice a week. We have these cool conversations. They just unearth so much. It's like she's digging her way to my soul, and I'm letting her. Like she's getting deep, and I just want to go deep with her too.
Okay. So, a desire for reciprocal vulnerability. That's understandable. But let's remember the boundaries of this relationship. Our professional. Focusing on your feelings about this other person outside of our sessions might be more productive. What specifically are you hoping to gain from discussing this with me?
Um, I don't know. I'm not sure, Doc. But I did have a question for you. I know usually you ask all the questions, but I'd like to spice it up. Um, you like shrimp Alfredo?
Whoa. That's quite a pivot. And honestly, a surprisingly specific question. Look, I appreciate you trying to switch things up, but my dietary preferences aren't really relevant to your emotional well being. Perhaps we could steer the conversation back to you?
Yeah, I mean, I apologize if I came off too abrupt. I apologize, Doc. It's never my intent to make you uncomfortable. I was just thinking, my mama, she been teaching me how to make shrimp Alfredo. And like Doc, listen, when I tell you I'm a beast at shrimp, like I can make baked shrimp, fried shrimp, grilled shrimp, shrimp corn dogs. What you anything you like.
Uh, a very enthusiastic culinary vision. and I appreciate the apology. But again, we're drifting. Your mother's cooking lessons, while I'm sure delightful, aren't really what we're here to discuss. Let's bring the focus back to your feelings about this woman and what you're hoping to achieve by sharing this with me. Are you seeking validation, advice, or something else?
I don't know what I'm seeking, Doc. Honestly, I wouldn't say validation. I want to be seen by her. And honestly, it does feel sometimes like there's this big wall between us. But my plan is to be like Moses and just split that wall and run into her arms, you know?
Splitting walls is a strong image, a very decisive action. But rushing into anything, especially emotionally, can have unintended consequences. Perhaps exploring what constitutes that wall, what specifically feels inaccessible, could be a more measured approach. What makes you feel unseen?
I think it's because of like how we started talking, you know? Um, Obviously, not every situation starts off the same. Sometimes you meet somebody and you may only talk about emotions and, therapeutic things. And I don't mean therapeutic as like a double entendre, Doc. I don't want to make you feel uncomfortable. But sometimes the conversation is platonic. But then that platonic, it gets smaller for you, and then your love start to bloom. It's like the sun, when it rotate around the earth and then it pop back in the sky out of nowhere and it be shining. Yeah, she my sun.
Okay. You're describing a shift in dynamic, a progression from a platonic connection to something more. And you're using quite poetic imagery to illustrate that shift. But it sounds like that shift is happening more strongly on your side. Is that accurate? Are you feeling a disparity in the level of
Doc, I
emotional
don't,
investment?
Doc, I don't think it's one sided. I'm a handsome young man. I'm a smooth Atlanta 10. Like, what you mean? It can never be one sided. I look in the mirror every day and I say, yeah, the next time I go see her, I know she gonna be drooling. She gonna be like a dog that ain't seen food in a while, then they see a piece of steak, and she see me and I'm the steak, Doc. That's
That's
how it is.
very confident assessment of the situation, and frankly, a bit objectifying. While self assurance is good, framing your interactions in that way suggests a power imbalance and potentially a lack of respect for her agency. Let's circle back to those feelings of being unseen. Is it possible the perceived lack of reciprocal interest is what's driving those feelings?
I'm kind of not following what you're saying, Doc. Like, I think I get it, but I probably don't get it because, I mean, you went to school, so you know the big words. I'm not a big word type of guy. I more so speak through action, and I can tell you about my actions, Doc. See, look, I'm the type to rub your feet when you get off work and you're tired. I'm the type to give you a hug. I'm the type to spray your perfume on my pillow because I can smell it when you're gone. That's me.
Okay. So you express affection through physical gestures and acts of service, a very tactile approach. However, those gestures, while meaningful to you, need to be welcomed and reciprocated to be healthy. You're describing behaviors that feel loving to you, but have you actually communicated these desires to her? Or are you hoping she'll intuit them?
Now, see, what I'm hoping is I watch a lot of romantic comedies. So what I'm thinking is like maybe instead of us just saying let's be together, she'll hit me with a oh King, I'm moving. My flight's at 3. And then I'd be like, 3? Oh my God, no. And I start running through the city and I hail a taxi and I'd be like, step on it. The woman of my dreams is getting away. And he'll be speeding through the city and there'll be traffic. And I'd be like, no, no time. So I hop out the car and I be jumping and weaving through the cars and I see the airport, then I run and miraculously, because TSA, for whatever reason that day only took about a minute, I make it to her gate because for some reason without a ticket I'm allowed to go through, and I be like, don't leave, and she be like, I won't, and we make out.
You're fantasizing about a very dramatic movie style declaration of affection, and you're anticipating a grand gesture from her. But reality often is much less cinematic. While hoping for a romantic surprise is understandable, relying on it can lead to disappointment. Have you considered simply communicating your feelings directly in a way that feels authentic to you?
Nah, because like that's the easy way, Doc. I'm not an easy type of guy. I feel like I want to make this as hard as possible because it make the love last longer. You know, I don't want no quick love. I want that love that make me feel like I'm jumping on rainbows 24/7. And I want her to have that rainbow jump love too.
So, you believe a challenging pursuit will forge a stronger, more lasting connection. A rainbow jump love, as you put it. That's an interesting philosophy, but deliberately creating obstacles feels to me like setting both of you up for potential frustration. Don't you think open communication, even if it's not as dramatic, could lead to a more genuine and fulfilling connection?
I don't even know what that means, Doc. I feel like I could just give her some flowers and she gonna fall in love because I'm gonna pick out the nice ones, like some roses or something with like the thorn on them, and then they cute, and I snip them a little bit so they smell good, and I spray them with my Creed too, so she be like, "Ooh, these some Creed roses."
Right. Flowers, potentially enhanced with Creed cologne, a distinctive gesture. But again, we're back to projecting your desires onto her. You assume the flowers and the cologne will be enough to elicit a specific response. Is it possible she might prefer something else entirely? Have you considered
I
what
mean,
she likes?
Doc, what else would I have to do? I mean, I could get on one knee. Oh, I got you, Doc. You saying basically you saying I should go harder. So I seen a commercial and it says every kiss begins with K. So that means I go to K Jewelers, right? And I cop her like a smooth 6 carat ring and I bring it to her and I be like, baby, listen, I have while I do this, I'm gonna have Jagged Edge playing in the background. Let's get married. And I'm gonna play it and I'll be like, look, baby, we ain't getting no younger. We might as well do it. And I'm gonna get on one knee, bended knee, and I'll be like, meet me at the altar in your white dress. I bet you that'll work, Doc.
Okay. A public proposal, complete with a 6 carat ring and a Jagged Edge soundtrack. That is a very specific and elaborate plan. And honestly, it feels less about understanding her and more about making a statement. Don't you think she deserves a proposal that's tailored to her, not to a romantic comedy trope? What makes her feel loved and cherished?
I still don't know what that means. You talking about love and cherish when I'm talking about being together till we old. You ever seen the Notebook, Doc? Remember they died in the bed while holding hands? I'm trying to get like that. I'm trying to be holding
Yes.
hands and we be like 80 years old and I look at her and I'm wrinkly and she wrinkly. We need to be ironed for real because we wrinkly as hell. And then I'd be like, yeah, death. And now we both gone.
That's a very romantic, albeit slightly morbid, vision of the future. But reaching that point requires building a connection now, based on mutual understanding and respect. You're focusing on the destination, the shared deathbed, and the journey requires communication,
Doc,
empathy.
have I ever told you that the way you dress in these sessions, you have very good taste. I feel like I could take you shopping maybe.
We're straying off topic, aren't we? I appreciate the compliment, I suppose. But again, let's focus on you and your feelings. You mentioned wanting to be seen. What specifically are you hoping to be seen as?
A provider. You know what I'm saying? Like, honestly, Doc, I'm not I'm not saying that I'm saying this to you, but you could be like Nara Smith. I can have you at home cooking, making stuff from scratch while I'm out there on the construction site. You know what I'm saying? Doing my little thing, getting hot and sweaty. My hands look like this, so yours look like that. You know what I mean?
Okay. So, a traditional dynamic with you as the provider and her as the homemaker. Is that a role you genuinely desire for yourself, or is it a role you believe she expects? And, like, regardless, is that a conversation you've actually had with her, or are you projecting your assumptions onto the situation? Because that's a lot of assumptions.
Doc, how would you feel about being provided for? I just wanna ask.
That's another tangential question, King. And truthfully, irrelevant to the work we're doing here. My purpose is to help you explore your feelings and patterns. What does it say about you that you're more interested in my hypothetical financial security than addressing your own emotional needs?
I was just asking, Doc. I just wanted to see, like, you know what I'm saying, if you ever just don't want to clock in and you want to kick your feet up. You know, I got a 2 bedroom, so that mean I got money. Yeah.
And you believe offering financial security equates to love and connection? That's a very transactional view of relationships, King. It suggests you believe affection can be earned or purchased. Is that an accurate assessment? And how do you think that perspective might be impacting your interactions with this woman?
That's a smart question, Doc. But I understand that I can't really follow that because the way my eyes work and my brain work, I'm on love wavelengths. So anytime I'm around this woman, I might get a little bit dumber. You know, logic says that maybe she don't like you. But my brain and my heart says that try harder.
So you're acknowledging that your feelings for her potentially impair your judgment. You recognize that your brain and heart are overriding logic, yet you're still choosing to prioritize that overwhelming emotion over rational thought? That seems concerning.
Well, when
Uh,
it come to logic, Doc, take the OGIC off and then add OVE. That shit spell love.
that's a creative rearrangement of letters, but it doesn't change the fact that logic and a healthy sense of self awareness are crucial components of any meaningful relationship. You're building a fantasy around this woman based on idealized notions and a disregard for her individual needs and desires. And that fantasy ultimately isn't going to lead to a sustainable, fulfilling connection. It's going to lead to disappointment.
So you saying the song "Just My Imagination" by the Temptations? I shouldn't live that way. He was in the song singing like, you know what I'm saying? We could have a happy little home out in the country, just the two of us with 2 children, maybe three. And he was like, just my imagination. But like the thing is, his imagination would have only been that if, you know what I'm saying, it could have went past that if he had stepped into the ring. But he want to just sing about imagination. See, right now it's my imagination, but one day I'll make that thing a reality. You feel me?
You want to move from imagining a life with her to actively creating it. You're determined to transform that fantasy into reality. But are you willing to put in the work, the honest communication, and the self reflection necessary to build a connection based on something more substantial than wishful thinking? Are you willing to see her as a whole person with her own desires and boundaries and not just as the fulfillment of your romantic ideals?
Doc, you ever came home from work and just seen a 6'3" buff black man with locks, sweaty from a hard day, and you just like, that's my man?
That's another projection, King. You're consistently focusing on your own attributes and expecting that to be universally appealing. It's not about what you are, it's about who you are as a person. Your empathy, your respect, your ability
But Doc,
to.
I'm just saying, I could pick you up. You ever been picked up before?
We are getting further and further away from any productive conversation, King. You seem determined to steer this toward personal assessment, and frankly, it's inappropriate. I'm here to help you navigate your feelings, not to be the subject of your hypotheticals. Let's refocus. We were talking about building genuine connections, and you were suggesting that physical attributes are the key, but those are superficial. What about emotional connection? What about shared values? What about
But
simply
Doc,
being a.
I do got an emotional connection. I tell her all my deepest secrets, my thoughts, the way my heart beat. Like, the thing is, if she don't want it, if she didn't return that love, I'd be like Omarion. I got this ice box where my heart used to be. That'd be me.
You share your vulnerabilities with her. That's good. But sharing isn't the same as reciprocal emotional intimacy. And comparing yourself to Omarion and envisioning an icebox where your heart used to be suggests you're bracing for rejection. Is that what's truly fueling this relentless pursuit? A fear of vulnerability masked as confidence?
Doc, I ain't vulnerable now. I'm trying to tell you. The thing is, all I gotta do all I gotta do is just keep being myself, and she gonna trip and fall into my life. And the reason why she gonna trip and fall into my life is because I'm gonna throw a Donkey Kong banana at her feet, and she gonna fall right into my life. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's that easy.
So, a Donkey Kong banana is a metaphor for an irresistible gesture? That's quite a visual. But
No, not a metaphor. I'm gonna actually throw a banana at her feet.
with all due respect, that's a terrible idea. It's disrespectful, potentially harassing, and frankly, completely undermines any chance of a genuine connection. You're
So
fixated.
then why they do it in Mario Kart?
Mario Kart is a video game, King. The rules of engagement are different in a fictional, competitive racing environment than they are in real life. And even then, it's considered unsportsmanlike conduct. You're comparing a cartoon to a real world interaction. That doesn't hold up.
Wait, hold on. Okay, so I was getting chased by the police like 3 weeks back. But the reason I lost them was because I had like a bunch of like oil in my car. Like, I had like 2 bottles. And when I opened the window, I dumped it, and the cop slid and he hit like a telephone pole. You telling me because I copied Mario Kart from a game, I shouldn't have done it in real life, but it still worked?
You're justifying a potentially dangerous and irresponsible act, dumping oil on the road, by referencing a video game. That's a flawed analogy, King, and a concerning rationalization. Even if it worked to evade the police, it put others at risk and was illegal. The fact that something happens in a game doesn't make it acceptable in reality, and it certainly doesn't negate the lack of judgment in your behavior. We are far from talking about relationships and more close to me recommending a different avenue than therapy. This sounds like a case for I'm not sure, but I'm not qualified. We need a recenter. I can't, in good conscience, continue this line of discussion. I'm concerned about your behavior. We're going to end the session here.
I got. I see you next week. Oh, wear that red dress that I seen you wearing. It wasn't in a session, but I had saw you at like Kroger or something.
Goodbye, King.
Bye, Doc. That was a good session. I'm gonna have to do more of these shits because that shit was fucking funny, dog. Wait, we'll be back with a fucking part two of artificial insemination. God damn it. Soon. That shit was fucking hilarious. I'm glad I had fun. And I actually had viewers. That's insane. Who was watching? So yeah, we'll be back with this bitch. Hopefully y'all enjoyed it, the people that did watch.